Good morning and welcome to We Got Options radio show with the doctor and son, a show about maintaining our overall mental health and wellness. This morning, we have a special guest with us. We always talk about taking care of ourselves, and I think sometimes we don't realize that it's more than just the run of the mill, making sure I'm getting some sleep, making sure I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and all these other different things that we try to do. But we kind of forget some things that what I think is very important. And so I have met this individual, and she has really given me a different outlook on how I take care of myself in certain ways. And a lot of time it's just by me looking at her because she's so beautiful. But I'm going to introduce our special guest today, Marsha Deshay. She is a skin expert and a makeup artist. And with that being said, thank you for coming on our show, Marsha.
Oh, you're so welcome. I so appreciate the invite. This is exciting for me.
Awesome, awesome. So, yes, we were happy that you had the time in your busy schedule to actually get with us and be able to do this interview. So, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, and I totally, get, but I want to put this out there for people. When people hear that other individuals are estheticians, what does that mean for most people? What is that? How do we break that down, and how is that helpful in our everyday life for individuals to, have that education and knowledge and know what they can do with themselves if they would decide to hire an esthetician?
Well, yes, an esthetician is a skin expert, but you have to get licensed, which means you have to go to school and
Mhm.
get a certain amount of hours to be able to become that. And you have to pass state boards like a doctor or a nurse. It's not as deep as theirs. Like, they're going through more years of training. It's not a medical degree, but we definitely really touch up against the medical field, especially with dermatologists.
Mm.
So, you know, being a licensed esthetician, there's some states where you can't even do makeup unless you're a licensed esthetician because there are just rules that need to be followed to protect yourself and to protect the client that you are working on. So you need to be able to identify certain things. You need to be able to do certain procedures that's not going to hurt your client because the products that we use to correct certain things are very potent and strong. And so if you don't have an idea of the different layers of the skin, if you don't have an idea of like the Fitzpatrick system, which is basically the level of melanin in a client's skin that determines kind of how aggressive you can be with them with doing certain care, like doing chemical peels
Mm.
or microdermabrasion or just certain advanced things that kind of help boost that cell turnover because as we age that cell turnover it slows down so we're not getting that new skin as fast as we should it's not shedding as fast as it should. We
Yes.
don't have that new baby skin anymore.
Mhm. Okay, I love it. Yes, yes. Um,
So I'm sorry,
mhm.
go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
So yeah, that's basically, what that is. And then, it's so intense and detailed. I will tell you this, I'm a college graduate, but when
Mhm,
I went to, and that was difficult. I mean, that was challenging. That was 4 years. But
mhm,
for estheticians, they pile in so much information, you know, in, a year or a year and a half, depending on your program. And
mhm.
I thought I was going to waltz up in there because I've been a makeup artist and I knew how to take care of my skin. I knew a little bit about ingredients, but my mind was blown because it took me to
Wow.
a whole nother level, and it took me to a whole nother level in the fact that I don't think a lot of people I know that like 85%, 95% of the people do not know what ingredients mean. They don't know how to basically take care of their skin without having to try all these different products and,
Mm.
all these different trends. And I've had clients call me and be like, I did this and I did that. And I was like, okay, well, you shouldn't have been doing that. Like you did too much.
I hear
But
you.
we're listening to these beauty commercials and these
Yes.
beauty trends and these, key words that they put out there that don't really mean anything. And
Hmm.
so it's very confusing for a person to go into whatever kind of store that they shop in and figure out what is going to work for them. And I suggest personally, I say don't fix it if it's not broken. If you're using over the counter products and it's fine for you and you're satisfied with those results, fine. But the
Hmm.
reason why I kind of tell my clients that using a professional, clinical, proven scientific products is because those over counter products, they're designed to treat the masses, which means it's either going to be way too strong
Hmm.
or it's going to be watered down and you're not going to get your money's worth. So if you invest in your skincare, not you don't have to spend like oodges and oodges of dollars. You're actually going to have a better result and your money's going to be stretched a lot further because you don't even have to it doesn't even take that much to be able to take care of your skin, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So if a person is interested in hiring an esthetician, the skin expert, then what are some of the things that they should be looking for? Because I'm going to be honest, I've had a lot of friends who've gone through and had the is the microderma
Yeah, microdermabrasion.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different kinds. Like, I mean,
Yes,
literally,
and
there's
I've had
so
friends
many
that had
different kinds.
yeah, I've had friends that had real great results, and I've had some friends that are like, "Oh my gosh, my skin's on fire," like what do you do? I mean, like what should you be looking for? And I do believe that one of my friends that did go did not go to a African American individual, or for the service, and they just went to a maybe like a big box, yeah, a spa, a big box spa or whatever, and yeah, it just didn't work out well for her.
I know, and that is so unfortunate.
Hmm.
But now more African Americans, now the industry is catering a lot of things towards African Americans. But honestly, because of the melanin in our skin, sometimes people, if they don't know what they're doing, is just too aggressive. You have to prep your skin in order to be able to take certain types of treatments.
Yes.
And even African American estheticians don't know what they're doing. It's just like anything else. Like some dermatologists are good,
Mhm.
some makeup artists are good. In any industry, you're gonna have a range of knowledge, and people who just are more aware and know more and know what they're doing.
Yes.
So I would look them up. If you type in esthetician in your area and certain things pop up, you can go to even at a spa because there are some spas that are really, really high end and they will only like med spas, they will only hire estheticians with a certain level of knowledge. Like they've had to been in the industry for a certain amount of years. And you
Mm.
can go on their bio. They usually have like a bio and you can see the estheticians, the staff, and they will tell you, what their certifications are, all of those types of things. And then too, one of the key things that might be like if you go into somebody's office, like a solo esthetician or even the spa, one of the things that tips me off that you should know that they don't really are in your best interest if they're not doing a skin consultation first.
Yes, major. Okay.
Yes,
So with
because I
that,
have to know what what your lifestyle is. I have to
mm,
know what medications you're on
yeah.
because that affects, your skin. It affects the different procedures that you can do. I mean, I'm serious. Like you could really, really hurt someone. So that skin consultation. I know it almost looks like a doctor's office consultation, but it gives me an idea of like, are you stressed? Do you exercise? How much water are you drinking? Have you ever been to an esthetician before? What kind of procedures have you had before? It kind of gives me a history to kind of give me an idea of what your goals are and where I can go with that and kind of push you in the right direction, because no one's skin on this planet Earth is the same. I promise you. I don't care if it looks like it's the same and your girlfriend is like, try this. I mean, it may work for you. I'm not saying that. But if you want something catered to you specifically, then that is something you should look out for. If they're not doing that and they're not asking you to sign consents,
Mhm.
you need to find another esthetician.
Wow.
Period. And I have worked in places like that, and I had to leave because their only agenda is to make money.
Mm.
They don't really care about, I mean, there's estheticians who come right out of school and they just throw them in there
Mhm.
and they don't really know what they're doing. It depends on what kind of school you went to. I went to a really high-end school. So
Yeah.
by the time I got out, I was able to do a range of things because my esthetician teacher, she was a master esthetician and she really, really poured into us. And some of these teachers who are esthetician teachers, some of them are just students who just graduated.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like, it's unfortunate because it's really hard to find good people,
Mhm.
doctor-wise, any-wise, customer service-wise, and
Yes.
that's just something that is very important to me because I want to be able to trust the person who is touching my skin.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Total sense. Yes.
And sanitary too, because we have a sanitary standard, we have sanitary procedures that we know how to do, and we have pop up, people that come in there and they will evaluate,
Yeah.
is your stuff labeled? Are you using the correct formulas to disinfect your products in between clients? Are you wiping down your products before you? Because you're spreading germs,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know and it's really important for that. And so I love that fact that I have that as a makeup artist, because I take the time to sanitize my whole makeup artist, my whole kit, everything. So when I touch your face, you have the security in knowing that I'm doing the best for your skin. And there are a lot of makeup artists out here. Some of them are way better than me. I mean, that's not the point, but
Mhm.
they are not sanitized. They're using the same mascara they're using other people, and they're not using disposable stuff. They drop a brush on the floor and they pick it up,
Yep.
and then they still using it. They're not
Yes.
really wiping down their makeup stuff. So, because they're not taught that, they don't know how important sanitization is. And I don't need somebody coming back to me saying, oh, I was allergic to such and such, you
Yes,
know?
I get that. I can hear this 11 years plus experience that you got in the beauty industry coming all through. It's just showing up today, honey.
Yeah, well, it's a passion of mine. I didn't really realize until I went to esthetician school. I mean, I had an interest in it because I was already like kind of doing my own concoctions on the little level,
Mhm.
doing my own research. See, that's another thing. People don't want to take the time to go to do their own research, not blogs,
Yeah.
not magazines, but actually scientific journals,
Yes.
that are online, or a very experienced dermatologist who is very certified in skin care, not just skin disorders.
Mhm.
So I had already kind of a little base of a knowledge, which
Mhm.
was kind of basic. But even then, I would still look on the back of every ingredient. I'm like, okay, what is this? What is this? Or whatever. And I would research it if I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I just love skin. And if your skin is not, I want my desire is like, even when makeup clients sit in my chair and they want to discuss their makeup issues, I'm like, baby, I can't do that right now
Mhm.
because, I only have a set amount of time. I can't be talking to you. I need to get this work done as
Mhm.
fast as possible to keep in within my contract on the timing. And then you have an obligation. So before you sit in your makeup artist chair is not the time to be talking about skincare.
Right, because that's what
So,
the skin consultation's for.
correct. And I know everybody is not going to do that, but that's just an ideal situation. I my preferable clientele, which I'm growing into this, is to work with clients who do care about their skin, and I'm basically their BFF beauty friend. So that means I am with you through your process of getting your skin the way you want it on your wedding day or whatever. Get
Mhm.
that skin glowing, get that skin smooth,
Yeah.
and it makes it so much easier to apply makeup because if you have, a lot of issues like, acne or, untextured even skin tone, I have to basically correct that. And that takes some time, you know.
Mhm.
So it's easier. It's like the thing of it is like makeup looks good looks better on people who have a better canvas, period.
Yes. Yes. If the skin is nice and looking right, then the makeup is gonna it'll just set everything off, right?
Exactly. And then it's like if you have oily skin, people, that's kind of a hard issue to address because as a makeup artist, you are going to this event, you don't want to have, your skin start shining and looking all, oily by the end of the day. But the more you try to pack on powders and try to, calm that down with using all these other types of products, it only makes it worse because your skin is like, I can't breathe,
Right.
and so it's going to reproduce more oils because it's like, you are drying me out.
Absolutely. Our skin, yeah, exactly. It has a brain of its own too. It's supposed to, there's certain things that it need. It needs to breathe. It needs to have the hydration and things of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, it has its own separate um, ecosystem.
Hmm.
Your skin is your first line of defense against diseases. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Hmm.
it really is. So that's why we say when there's some issues that kind of pop up that are like, oh my gosh, even if it's not something that I can handle or that's above my knowledge scale, I'm going to recommend you to go to a dermatologist or your doctor because I'm like, something is wrong.
Hmm.
Your immune system is off, something is off. And that's why you continue to have this product. And I can get you to the place where you want to be. But if that's not changing and you're keep having the same problem, like something that's aggressive, like eczema, rosacea, things like that, I have to send you to a dermatologist because legally I am not allowed to prescribe anything for that. I have products to help that and to
Yeah.
calm it down and I have a knowledge of it, but legally I'm not supposed to, I can only go but so far as that is, concerned. I can say, "Oh, this looks like, you want to check this out. This might be skin cancer." You see
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yes. Got it. Got it. That totally makes sense. So, with everyone just being on, and I always tell people, your face and your skin is the first thing that people look at to say, oh, that's a healthy individual. I think sometimes people don't realize what are some things they can do for this.
Yes, and I can even do more things better because it's a lifestyle change.
Hmm.
And it's a lifestyle change. It's not hard, but it's just the way you think about your skin. People are just like, it's not a priority for them.
Right.
So, you have a skincare diet, which is like, I don't like, you want to have your AHAs and your retinoids and peptides, your plant stem cells. And I can go on and on about that, but that's kind of like the step one. Like, okay, that's the superficial skin um, layering to correct. But then exercising helps so much because it increases that blood flow
Hmm.
and increasing your blood flow, it's going to basically help your skin. I mean, it is, like
Yeah.
drinking more water,
Hmm.
getting rest. all of those things, and just maintenance.
Yes.
You can't just start and then stop.
Exactly, exactly. It's a ongoing. I always tell people we have this skin that the skin that we have in our body is the skin we're born with, and yeah, things turn over, cells die, all this other stuff. But technically, we're gonna have this. You know what I mean? It's the skin that's there. So we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and some things are hereditary. And I'm
Hmm.
like, like as far as especially with African American, we don't necessarily have all even skin tone. And that's just because of the nature of us. Like, I mean, we come in so many different colors.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's so many different regions on your face too. We call that face mapping,
Hmm.
to address certain things on your face. Like, okay, like this part is dry. Our main focus is basically to get your skin in balance. So it's
Yeah.
not too oily and it's not too dry. It's got to be balanced. And when it's not balanced, then you start to have issues. But then there's some things that are just hereditary. Some people have like, I have little bags under my eyes a little bit, but I know how to kind of like, fix that because that's actually a lack of blood flow. You
Okay.
know, um, when you have like dark eyes, darkness in the eye circles, and like puffiness, that's a lack of blood flow. So, doing just like those roller treatments to just kind of like roll, get that, you work your skin out. You have to exercise your skin out and like also cleaning out those lymph nodes,
Yeah.
detoxing your skin. I don't know if people really know about this, but brushing. I know that sounds really crazy, but there's certain tools that you use, and anybody can research that and do it. It's called like brushing your skin. And
Yes.
basically, what's that it's doing, it is literally pushing out toxins out
Hmm.
of your body and slowing down that inflammation because a lot of us have a lot of inflammation. That sugar, that alcohol,
Hmm.
those are the types of things that create that inflammation. And
Yeah.
so eating a very diverse, healthy diet, oh my goodness, that affects your skin. Drinking more water
Sugar.
and watching your diet can
Yeah.
do a lot of things. But then you also have to hydrate on top too. It's a two-step process. And then
Hmm.
you have people who have normal skin and they really don't have to do that much. And I wish that I was that person.
Oh yeah, I understand. I know one day we were talking and you were mentioning to me about people that don't wash their face. You're like, oh no. And I was like, but there are people out there like that they don't, they put just soap and water on their face or whatever the case may be.
Yes, and for some people, it's not an issue because they don't know what their skin is capable of looking like.
Hmm.
Like they don't know that their skin is dull. They don't know that they've got packed on dead skin on their face. Like I did like a mini chemical peel on my face, not even a chemical peel. It was just like a little enhancer. And my God, and I take care of my skin. All of this skin was just peeling off and peeling off and peeling off. And when I looked in the mirror, honey, my skin was bright as gold.
Oh wow.
You don't realize how much layers of skin is on your face. So if
Hmm.
that's not a priority for you and you don't care, fine. But
Yes.
there are people who are like, I want to have the best skin that I want. You know what I'm saying? So, it just makes a difference and it's not hard. Your basics is basically cleansing your face with a cleanser that is to your skin type, whether it's dry, oily, acneic, all those types of things, and exfoliating your skin
Yes.
and protecting your skin and repairing your skin at night. That's it. And that you can do that with just 3 products. And then you can come in if you want a real boost, once I get you on a program that you're like, okay, this is consistent, we can add in the serums and we can add in the masks because those have so much concentrated ingredients that it's going to take your skincare to the next level.
I totally understand that. That's a major thing I think for women and for men because now, to be honest with you, men are really getting into the game as well. They're
Oh,
wanting to look
yes.
just as healthy as women want to look. I tell people beauty is one of those things now that it's across the board. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, my goal was always like, I don't want to have to pack on a whole lot of makeup for
Yes.
myself.
Yes.
I just it's fine, But, let me say this. I like natural makeup.
Yes.
And so you have to do what you have to do until your skin gets to the place that you want it to be. But a lot of times, these people are just putting on too much makeup on their face. I
Yes.
mean, it's ridiculous, you
Absolutely.
know, and it looks beautiful. But that's why other people get intimidated because they're like, I can't do all that.
Right. Doing a lot of makeup that's a job in itself to put a face on every day. But I see that you have the perfect touch natural makeup signature style that you're kind of going from. So is that kind of like a makeup um line
Yeah,
you're coming out with, or
it's just my specialty. I've kind of learned that you can't be a jack of all trades.
yes.
You know, my signature style is I like to do beautiful, natural makeup. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to, it's not going to look less down. But a lot of people don't even know what natural makeup is. Like they'll show me a picture. And I'm like, girl, that is not no natural makeup. Okay. I like clean. I like your face to look like skin. And, I'm actually mixing and I'm doing different colors to make sure, it matches your undertones and things like that. And I like to focus on that. And, I like and eye makeup that's natural, but
Yes.
I'm not doing those cut creases and that shimmer.
Yes.
Not
Mhm.
I mean, not necessarily. I can do that, but I'm not doing that glitter mess.
Yes. I hear you. I hear you. And
I'm
it's
not
not for
doing that.
everyone. Yeah.
So that's just my passion. I mean, you can do a natural smoky eye.
Yes.
You can do I mean, if you look at my portfolio, you can kind of see what my style is.
Mhm.
Um, and that's it. Some people they specialize in wedding makeup. Everybody has their own talents, but when you are able to really focus on what you do the best, that's how you excel because
Yeah.
people know you for what you do.
Absolutely. And I've seen some of your work, of course, on your website. And I am like, wow, she is really moving. She's shaking. You've got a lot going on, honey.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much because my goal is I'm always trying to do better. Like I'm always learning. Being in this industry, I have to constantly keep up on my certifications.
Yes.
So every year when I have to renew my license, I have had to prove how many hours that I have done that year to be
Mhm.
able to obtain my license.
Yes.
The field is so you can't even imagine. I can't even tell you how many things you can do as an esthetician. You could solely be waxing. You could
Yes.
solely do eyelash extensions. You can solely, represent a company and, represent them and sell products to, major suppliers. I mean, there are so many different things you can do, which makes me so excited about being in this field. It's amazing. It's interesting. And I love ingredients. Like
Oh,
that is my thing. I love ingredients. I love playing with ingredients. I really don't do that to people unless they're comfortable with that. But with me, like I know I can mix this and mix that and do I know what works together, what's not. I know what my skin can take. If it's a little bit, if it's doing, I'm like, okay, Marsha, now you gotta like calm that down. You're gonna need to use like more calming products. So,
yeah.
it's like balance. Like, you don't want to strip your skin. You strip your
Yeah.
skin, but you have to replenish that. You gotta put that that moisture, that reparative things back into your skin.
That's true. Because I think people don't realize that once they're wearing like a whole lot of makeup, like they have to go back and do something to, moisturize and, keep their skin clean from all that they've done and worn all day, all that makeup that they've worn all day. And they're putting on their skin daily, pretty much, day by every day and reapplying throughout the day.
Yes, and then one of the things that people don't know that they have options.
Hmm.
I'm certified in other skincare lines, but my favorite is Image Skincare
Okay.
because their philosophy is working, helping your skin from the inside out
Hmm.
versus the opposite. So they have a delivery system that actually scientifically is working on the inner layers of your skin rather than trying to like, do just what's on top.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Yes.
And then it's like, you can get sunscreens. People are like, well, I don't want to wear sunscreen. It makes me look white. Well, first of all, that's the kind of sunscreen that you purchase, but some of you don't know how to apply it. Like, I mean, you got to rub that, get it warm
Yeah, you
and
gotta
put
rub
it
it
on your
in
face
there.
and really work it in and don't put on a whole lot.
Mhm.
You only need a little bit, but there's gel formulas. Like,
Yes.
and it has gel formulas and it has like tinted formulas and serums within the one thing. So I like multi-functioning products because
Yes.
it helps people not to have so many steps. So I can have my tinted moisturizer, my serum, and my sunscreen all in one, and
Mhm.
I'm done. I can go out
Absolutely.
the door.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All of this is definitely a part of, what we need to have in mind and know as far as really taking care of ourselves, not only taking care of ourselves, but realizing that, you know, as we're taking, I tell people we go work out. Okay, we work out to try to make our body look a certain way, but the skin on our body needs to look healthy as well. If we're going in for this interview, if we're
Hmm.
even if they don't wear makeup, you still want your skin to look pretty radiant and nice in the lights and things like that.
Oh, yes, it makes a difference. Like, I don't wear as much makeup as I did when I was younger because, life is different for me. So I need to do things that are quick. And the type of serums that I use, like even my child is like, I'm in the carpool and she's like, Mommy, why do you always wear makeup in the morning? You're just dropping us off. And I was like, I'm not wearing makeup.
Because your skin, yeah, your skin is so beautiful. You've been taking care of it, and I don't think people realize that's to me that's a big plus, that your skin is radiant and beautiful and you have no makeup on.
Yes, and I have imperfections on my skin, but
Mhm.
it's just like those aren't so noticeable when your skin is glowing and it looks healthy. I mean, hormonal acne is what I struggle with, and I have to really, really be on top of it.
Mhm.
And I bruise easily. My skin, so I know that about my skin. If I have, an acne that pops up, just one,
Mhm.
I know that it's going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
But I know how to like, I mean, you know how to fade and I know how to work that out. But
Mhm.
I've come to just love my skin. I've come to love me for who I am and accept who I am. And
Mhm.
that's what I want to empower women to feel. It's like it's your own kind of beauty. You
Yeah.
don't have to look like everybody else to be beautiful.
Yes, I
It's
love
what
it.
you want to do. It's how you want to feel.
Absolutely. I really, really love that because I think a lot of times we get so caught up in what society says is beautiful, and we got to realize that, again, like you said, it's your own kind of beauty. Everyone, it's for you know what I mean? So people, you empowering the fact that individuals can look and say, well, you know what, she's all into their own kind of beauty. So it means that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I would say. And it means that, I can be just as beautiful with a full face, but I can be just as beautiful without.
Yes, and the thing of it is like when you take care of your skin as far as like, okay, the wellness, like we said, like, taking care of your skin, and your mental health also plays into that,
Oh,
because
yes.
how we grew up. I know how I grew up.
Hmm.
I was very religious. It was like you don't wear foundation. That stuff is gonna mess up your skin or something like that. Because they weren't educated, and then also too they really weren't creating products for Black women.
Right.
Um,
And sometimes you can also say that because I grew up like this, also realizing that a lot of the women that wore the foundations and things like that, I didn't sometimes realize if they even cleaned it off well. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
they didn't clean their skin well. I mean, I have aunts and that I've seen like that, and I'm just like, did you even clean your skin really well to get that off before you added some more the next morning? You know what I mean?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you that's really good thing for you to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and a lot of our advanced technology, if you can believe it or not, comes from like Korean makeup. I mean Korean beauty because they are so much more innovative than us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've learned a lot, from them,
Mm-hmm.
as far as in taking care of our skin. You know, ideally you want to double cleanse your skin.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that can mean different things. So this is where, we get into certain things, which is why when I do have consultations with my clients, I have to look at their lifestyle and see what works best for them. If you're using a makeup wipe, that's fine, but now you've got the outer layer off. Now you have to cleanse your skin. And when you cleanse your skin, you need to work it in. And you need
Mm-hmm.
to do it for like a minute. I'm
Yeah.
serious because it takes a minute for those products to penetrate in your skin. That alone is going to make a difference. And then
Absolutely.
also, what is if you're going to do a double cleanse, I wouldn't suggest doing a double cleanse. You can have one kind of cleanser that's like kind of aggressive, but you need one that's kind of like a balancing one that's like not as aggressive, or
Mm-hmm.
one that has kind of like oil components in it because oil attracts dirt. It literally is a magnet.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So when you wipe your face off, you cleanse your and it comes in so many types of forms. That's why I say the beauty industry is crazy. But an oil-based cleanser at first, you can feel the refreshness on your face, and then you wash it with your other cleanser, and actually your products are working better because it's actually getting into your skin and not laying on top of it.
Absolutely. Yes. 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 All that makes sense and truly resonates with me. So, and I'm sure our audience, everyone can kind of really pick up some things here and realize, okay, I definitely need to, consider and think about how I'm taking care of my skin, because that's a
Oh
big,
yeah.
yeah, a big part of, like I tell people all the time, you want to be healthy, but then there's also, you have to do the part of looking like you're healthy as well, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself in all those ways.
Exactly. And it's a process, it's not like a turnaround effect.
Yes.
It's not Amazon Prime.
Nope.
You know, it's gonna take some products you're gonna see results instantly, but
Yes.
that's just the beginning.
Hmm.
Some products it's gonna take at least 60 to 90 days because like I said, if you haven't been doing anything on your skin, you haven't been exfoliating, your
Hmm.
skin has to adapt
Yes.
to
And
really start working. And and then there's different layers of the skin, the epidermis, the dermis, and so I'm not going to get all into that because I can get really scientific.
yes.
Keratinites and all those ites and collagen and peptides and all of that stuff is really those are buzzwords that are used in the beauty industry and people don't even know what that means.
Absolutely. But we're putting everything on our face though.
Right. And it's not the consumer's fault. It's just that
Mhm.
a lot of people are not willing to really educate. And I'm going to say this one thing too.
Mhm.
There are products that people sell on Instagram that, like that works for them,
Yes.
but it doesn't work for everyone. And these are products that are made in their kitchen. I
Mhm.
have no issues with that.
Yes.
But one thing you have to know is that everything does not work for everybody. And two, you got to be careful with those natural products, so-called natural products, because some of that stuff can really damage your skin. Um,
Yeah.
some little herbal stuff, some of that stuff you don't need to be putting on your skin without it being formulated with something else because it's
Absolutely.
it's too strong.
Yes.
And it's like, and then they don't know nothing about skincare. And
No.
they're making oozes of money.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Selling these, and some of them, I'm not saying it's not a good product. Like, they have like one, I'm not saying it's not a good product, but personally for me, if you are not licensed and you are not experienced,
Yes.
I'm not going to buy that product from you. That's just me.
Right. I
That's
get
just me.
it. Mhm.
Because the thing of it is I don't want to end up doing something and then I have an allergic reaction. I've had people get like, what do you want to call it, tint on their eyebrows, and the person
Mhm.
didn't do like a patch test, like, a little testing on your wrist or behind your ear to see if you're allergic to the certain dye. And
Yeah.
oh my God, their faces blew up like a balloon.
Oh
They
my
can't
God.
see. Their eyes are closed completely shut. They've got pus coming out of their eyes. And some people can actually go blind.
Yes, I have seen something that came across, I believe, social media where they were showing a young lady in the hospital with some stuff on her eyes because of something, I guess, something kin to what you're talking about, as in the lashes and kind of what happened. The result was the person was in the hospital and had some tubes and all kind of other stuff on their face because they were trying to make sure that hopefully they'll be okay.
Yeah, yeah. And we want to do what everybody's doing, even with eyelash extensions.
Yes.
There's in North Carolina, they're very strict when it comes to things like that. They're
Yep.
very strict with chemical peels. They're very strict with anything penetrating your skin.
Yes.
And you have to be licensed in order to do eyelash extensions.
Mhm.
And then, if you go to someone who's been trained, they're able to educate you on how to style your lashes and not look like you flying away somewhere and it looks all thick and it doesn't compliment you at all.
Absolutely.
Or they'll be like, "Oh, it's irritating me." It's irritating you because they place a lash, where they shouldn't have placed it. And so every time you blink, it's irritating you. Or some people become allergic to the glue because if all you're doing is, eyelash extensions and you're not giving your eyes a break,
Yes.
you are going to develop atopic dermatitis. You're going to become allergic. And guess what, boo? You may not be able to wear eyelash extensions ever again.
Oh my. Wow. That is interesting. But I just don't think that people I always tell people, there's a cost for beauty, of course, but you still have to be safe. You still have to be healthy with it. You still have to make some decisions that's gonna be, you know, good decisions for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't put everything on your skin. You can't, I tell people all the time, you can't try everything. Yeah.
No, you can't. And I think that people who are more solo estheticians or
Mhm.
estheticians that work in dermatologist offices, because there's a lot of estheticians that work in dermatologist offices because some of them are medically trained, where
Yes.
they work with cancer patients and things like that, or they do the laser treatments. I mean, girl, it goes on and on and on. I feel like those types of people are more concerned about you.
Yes.
Going to these spas, they're going to do a little bit to try to make you feel relaxed, and you make your skin feel good. But I personally, unless it's been like a well-known spa, like really, and you really researched it, you should not let them put anything aggressive on your face.
Yes.
Do
Exactly.
not do that. And you know what?
Mhm.
You can DM me and you can
Mhm.
ask me questions, and I'm more than happy to tell you because I don't want you to have to, go 10 steps back when you're trying to move forward. And like I said, a lot of people don't know how to do African American skin, and some of them people will burn them people up. They
Oh,
look like a
yeah.
crisp, like they've been out the fire.
My goodness. Well, tell us, as far as social media platforms, where can people actually uh, DM you and be able to send you emails? I know you have a website and everything. Why don't you give us some of that information and tell us what you got coming up too?
Oh, yes. So you can follow me on all of my social media platforms, made up by Marsha Deshay. And you can also contact me through madeupbymarsha.com. If you start typing in made up by Marsha, because I know Deshay, how I spell it is not a common way to spell it, I will pop up.
Oh, okay.
I will pop up my social media and all that stuff will pop up, as you start to Google me, or even if you Google Marsha Coltrane, it'll pop up.
Uh-huh.
You can find me on social media. But one of the things I'm really excited about is, everybody doesn't have access, like you said, everybody doesn't have access to someone that they trust. So I developed a program where I've curated specific things for specific skin types. And I'm consulting you virtually, which means, I'm holding your hand through this process. I'm going to curate something that is for your skin, and we're going to do follow-ups, and we're going to see what's working and what's not working and what we can add. And basically make you feel comfortable, because sometimes when you go into the store, the beauty store, I don't care which it is, Ulta, Sephora, or your local beauty supply place,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them aren't knowledgeable. They just know what the brand has told you.
Correct.
And you're like, what I'm saying, you really want someone to tell you the truth. You want the
Absolutely.
truth. And I'm not holding back. I'm going to tell you the truth. And you may not like it, but I'm a straight shooter. I'd rather for
Right.
someone to tell me than for someone to just tag me along just because they want my money.
Right. I got you. That makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yes. That someone cares about how, how things are going to work with your skin tone and your, just being able to match things and make sure that you're getting the best skin care possible. Yeah. I get that.
Exactly. And you have someone to hold your hand. And then your you don't have to leave your location. And even though I'm not doing any studio work right now, I do have products that are available to me that I can almost basically get you the same results. They're strong products, but I'm not going to prescribe those, only to people who know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to go to it's great if you can find an esthetician that you like. But basically, an esthetician, we're just trying to give you a jump start. It's what you're doing on a daily basis that's going to improve your skin.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We're just jump starting. We're trying to get that skin clean. We're trying to exfoliate. We're trying to put those masks off and pull out those insecurities. If we have to do extractions, we'll do extractions. We are looking at, we're really looking and touching your skin.
Yes.
And because I've had that experience, even though I'm not really touching your skin, I can kind of, I can guide you on
Absolutely.
what is appropriate and what is not appropriate, even if you don't use what I sell. I'm not pushing my products, but
Yes.
I can give you the ingredients that you need to look out for and what you need to do.
Yes, yes. I'm sure there are plenty of things that will definitely affect your skin in different ways that you need to be very, very mindful of.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just really simple changes, like
Hmm.
really simple changes. It does not have to be complicated. Even for somebody who has something like, for example, has really bad cystic acne.
Hmm.
Again, I'm not really, that's a gray area there. But
Yes.
sometimes it's just what you're eating. I had a fellow colleague who had a girl that came in and her face would look so bad with acne. She was scared of her because she actually thought she had a disease.
Oh
And,
my.
she didn't say that, you know, but after she left, she sanitized that place really well. But
Mhm.
what happened was when she kept coming back and they started to investigate, it was because she was drinking too much dairy. And when she took that out of her diet, her skin completely cleared up,
Wow.
you
That's
know?
yeah, that's amazing right there. Absolutely. Good grief. Yeah.
Yes, like people with rosacea, like if you're eating spicy food, if you're eating, drinking alcohol, which is nothing wrong with that. But there
Hmm.
are certain things that ignite that inflammation.
Yes, exactly.
And what you're trying to do is calm it down. And so you want to use calming products. Like my favorite is aloe vera. My
Hmm.
favorite ingredient for calming down inflammation is aloe vera because it is, to me, it's antibacterial. It's
Hmm.
non-comedogenic, meaning it's not going to clog your pores, and
Hmm.
it's healing. And it really does calm down. And oh my God, does it feel good?
Wow. Okay.
It feels good. And I have products where the first ingredient is aloe vera.
Yeah.
And that lets you know that that product is basically aloe vera, and all the other stuff is just added in to kind of, promote, the other ingredients. So it, gives you a full rounded experience with that product. But I love it. I love, like, when my skin, like when it feels tired, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I just want to take a break from using retinoids and stuff like that, I use my calming, you know, products. And once I go to sleep at night, when I'm ready for bed, my face just feels so good. And the thing about that too is don't go to bed directly after you put on your products because you're just basically wiping your face, wiping it off. You
Right.
need to let it sit in for at least 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's kind of hard, you know. I don't and you want to know what? I don't follow all the rules all the time either.
Yes.
You know, we're human.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
as long as you have the tools and the education, that's the basis of it. So my model is, you know, balanced beauty.
Absolutely. Balanced beauty. I love that. I love that.
And it makes you feel better about yourself to look in the mirror. I mean, you should love yourself no matter what, but to look in the mirror and you see the improvement, you're like, oh my gosh. And then your light is able to shine through because you'll act differently in front of people instead of kind of like going within yourself because you're like, are they looking at my pimples? Are they looking at, you know, all of these things on my face? Like, it's a confidence booster.
Yes, absolutely. It definitely is. But with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show here. Marsha, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us all this great knowledge and information that, really will help individuals realize that they do need to make sure that they're taking care of their skin. Your skin's important. I say that all the time. Your skin's very important. And so we just wanted to thank you for coming on the show and being a part. And again, I want you to give us one more time your information for contact.
Yes. So on my social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram, it is Made Up by Marsha Deshay. I have a website called Made Up by Marsha Deshay. And basically my website is it's going to send you, you know, wherever you need to, whatever you need to go. And I do also have a wait list for my master class, basically teaching, you know, about more balanced beauty. It's a wait list that you can get on. So that'll be available in spring, summer. So you'll have access to that anywhere in the world, anytime, anywhere you go, because it's once you purchase it, it's yours.
Nice. I love it, Marsha. Thank you so much for coming to talk with us and get some information out there. And we hope to have you back again.
I hope so too. I'm really appreciated for this opportunity because you gave me an opportunity to like pour out
Yes, absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna say bye to our listeners and thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys will tune in next week at 8:30 a.m. Our Friday morning show. We got options with the doctor and son. See you soon.
Bye.